Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in KITZUR, HILCHOS, SHABBOS, the laws of Bishul, and we are in the category of Chazara, of returning food that is cooked or hot to the fire after you removed it and you're putting it right back on, as we will see. The conditions that are needed in order to permit you to do Chazara. We already mentioned that you're not really allowed to return things, even on a flame that is covered. As long as the original shehiyah, the original pot being on the fire, has not been finished yet. Shirak oz nikra v'shem chazar, then it's called chazar, as we'll see what that means. Avalim kfar nifsaka hashihiyah rishayna. But if the original cooking that was going on is already finished, that's not called returning the pot to the flame. That's called, if you took it off and you don't have these conditions that we're about to explain, then it's like putting it on for the first time. You cannot do that. It's asur because it looks like you're cooking. What is considered to be the end of the initial cooking process, and what is called chazar, returning it. So Chazal gave us certain general principles over here, and here they are. Aleph, number one, when you are removing the pot of food from the fire, you have to have in mind, your intention must be, I'm going to return it afterwards to the fire. But if you did not have in mind to return it, then when you change your mind, and you took the pot of soup off of the stove top on Friday night to serve it, and of course you had no intention at all to put it back onto the fire, and then suddenly you say, you know what, why not? It'll be so nice, I'll put it back on the fire, I'll have it for later, I'll still have nice hot bubbling soup. Says the KITZUR, no, that's shiyah chadash, that's like a brand new placing on the fire, and that's a problem. However, in the case of necessity, perhaps that means you have a lot of people coming for a meal or the like, and you took food off, didn't realize you needed to put it back on, you could rely upon the lenient opinion that say, even if you didn't have the intention, you could put it back on, as long as the pot is still going to be in your hand, which is the next part. Number two, base, the pot of food must still be in your hand. Hainu, you did not release it from your hand. But if you already put it down on the counter and you're not holding on to it anymore, that's called shehiyah chadasha. If you put it back onto the fire, that's called like a brand new placing there. Nevertheless, in the case of necessity, if you only put it on a bench or on the table, but not all the way onto the ground, so then you could still be makel, you could still be lenient and put it back on. However, as it points out over here, you don't have to hold the thing. You have sometimes a big cholent pot, a big soup pot. You don't have to hold the whole thing up in the air, suspended in the air, even if you put it leaning on the countertop or the like, and you are holding on to the pot, that's still going to count. Even lechatchila, that's no problem. Kozman Gimel 3. Kozman she'oichel adayim b'kli harishon, as long as the food is still in the first pot. Kli rishon, aval im kvar pina lekli acher. But if you already poured it into another pot, shuv ein lachziro leish, you cannot put it back onto the fire. And even here, we have leniencies in a case of necessity. And Daled, the fourth condition is, the pot must still be hot, but if it already got cold, you're not allowed to put that back onto the oven, to the stovetop, even if it's covered, Afilu davar yavesh, even if it's something that's dried, because that for sure, says the KITZUR, that's like making a brand new cooking situation at that time. Okay, so a person has to know these 4 conditions, otherwise you will not be able to do Chazara. Have a wonderful day.